Hi, this is Regeline Sabat, also known as Gigi. You're listening to Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Baylan Megino. She's a spiritual mentor for leaders, finding new direction that is centered in the heart and soul. She has worked in the community and is the founder of Global Dream Makers. She believes when you create your dream that you will be able to help others do the same. And as a result, there will be peace in the world. Welcome to the show, Baylan.
Thank you so much for having me here, Gigi. I am so honored to be talking with you and sharing my story and how I help people. Really, there's so many people out there who need help, and maybe some of them don't even quite know it yet.
Right, that's right. And it's an honor to have you here today, Baylan. Now, why don't you start off by telling us about you and where you are from?
Actually, culturally, my family is from the Philippines, but I was born and raised here in the United States and grew up in Oakland, California, the infamous Oakland, California, and pretty much have been here in the East Bay the entire time. Um, but how shall I say this? Um, my family really is, third generation on my mother's side, so really deeply have American roots, and second generation on my father's side, so the immigrant experience. So I have both of those in the mix of who I am and how I view the world and how I have been able to go from there to really seeing a wider and broader perspective of being in the world, and to open up to more possibilities. More possibilities, yes.
Wonderful. Now, tell us more about what inspired you to become a spiritual mentor for leaders.
Spiritual mentor for well, it really has developed over time. I have to say that I call it Global Dream Makers. I realized it's because of my father. It's because of my father, because when he came here after World War II, he went to UC Berkeley, and his dream was to be a journalist. And so he got his degree in journalism in Berkeley. But in the 1950s, it was not a time when a person of color could really go into journalism. And so he really tried to follow his dream, but he was not able to. He was pretty much shut out of the newsroom. He used to say they wouldn't even let me empty the trash bins in the newsroom. And so he had to change into a totally different work, area of work. And it ended up being programming, which, fortuitous because, computers were coming up in the 50s, And so but we grew up with understanding that you had to stay within certain lines to be acceptable in society, and that you didn't necessarily have a dream. So when I was growing up, having a dream was not something that I really was taught. I was told what you needed to do to be acceptable, to be accepted, and to succeed. And so I actually did that. I was the good girl. I was good with academics. I got the good corporate job. I got married and had, started my family, and got involved in the community. I was really involved in my Filipino community with the youth program at the time, and had my daughter. And when she was 5, I suddenly decided that something was missing, and I had a meltdown. Well, I had a meltdown. I really had a meltdown because I had started to understand, I have desires of my own. I have things that I want to have. I didn't call them dreams at the time. And so, as part of, as part of healing from my meltdown, which really got me out of the picture for a whole week, um, I was sitting in the room with about 12 other women. It was a women's circle, that my counselor at the time had started. And she was going around the room and she was asking everybody this question, you know. And my blood pressure was rising. I could feel it. She was asking everybody, "What's your dream?" It was our first time to meet. "What's your dream?" And I was like, "My dream? Oh my God, I don't have a dream. I don't know what my dream is." And I was panicking. And so she finally got to me. I was like number 11, out of 12. And she said, "So, what's your dream?" And I just froze. And I said, "I have no idea. Up until this point, everything that I've done, all of my goals have been because other people said that's what I'm supposed to do." but that's not what I want to do anymore. And I don't know what to do, right? So, what's my dream? It's to figure out my dream, really figure it out. What do I want? And I have spent all this time, probably, close to 30 years now, um, trying to figure out that answer. And in that, I left my first marriage, um, rebuilt myself in my businesses, and explored new ways of doing business. I got involved in the Chamber of Commerce, really helped my second husband build from, what I call it, a guy in his truck to $1 million business, right? Helped him scale that. But then I got to the point where, again, I was doing at a higher level what other people expected. I had
Wonderful.
stepped away from, I had kind of put my toes into the water of alternative healing and spirit guidance, um, but uh, it wasn't really well accepted in the business world, right? In the business world that I was in, they kind of looked at it kind of sideways, said, "What are you doing over there?"
I love it.
But that was
Now,
really
Baylan,
what, yeah,
yes. Now, can you
yeah.
tell
I
us
mean,
more
really,
about
that was
Global
really
Dream
how I
Makers?
started.
Very
Well, Dream
powerful.
Makers, um, yeah, Global Dream Makers really came out of that journey. It really came out of trying to find what is my dream. And in trying to figure that out, I went to all these different programs. They said, okay, make sure that you have your goal setting done. And it's in this, they would have, like, up to 17 different areas. I thought, how am I supposed to remember 17 things? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just a list, right? And so I asked Spirit, I said, okay, is there a better way for me to understand this, right? And, when you ask a question, a spirit, you don't get necessarily a direct answer. But if you look around, you'll see the answer or you'll hear the answer, right? That's something I teach my people. Like, okay, the answer's there. You just have to ask, right? Ask. And so I was on a photo shoot, and um, we were we were shooting a drop of water going into a still pond. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's what it is. We get a drop of inspiration. We are that still pond. We get a drop of inspiration, and then what we do with that inspiration ripples out into the rest of our world. And as I understood that more and more, I created the Dreammaker Matrix. Right? So the global dream makers are people who understand their matrix and are living their lives according to fulfilling their matrix. And the matrix is really, what's your dream in all areas of your life? And they all make sense because they're all connected. They're all connected. And so, since they're connected, making decisions about your dream, towards your dream, or away from your dream are very conscious because they're all connected. You make a decision in one area and it connects with all of the others, it affects everything else. But you can make a conscious decision. So that's what the Dreammaker Matrix is. It helps us to understand our lives in five main areas. And the global Dreammakers are those of us who have made that decision that we are consciously going to create our world. Because, you know, I believe, truly, truly believe that when we are pursuing our dream, that all we can do is help others pursue their dreams. Because, I mean, let's say, Gigi, you have your podcast, right? And you have all of your technical people. You can't do all of it. I mean, you could in the beginning, perhaps, right? But as you get bigger, you need people's help. So somebody else who's brilliant at the tech side, if you help them fulfill their dream of being the perfect tech person for a podcast, you're helping them fulfill their dream, and they're helping you fulfill yours. See, if we all did that, we allowed everybody else around us to do what it is they're best at doing, that they love doing, we would have peace. We would have no violence. We would have no discord, no war, maybe some difference of opinion. But that's just, a different flavor of the same thing, right? So that's how it works. That's pretty much how it works. You just kind of breathe into it. I mean, and really just breathe into it, and it comes with ease. It really comes with ease. Ask for what you so know what you want, have your vision, and then ask for what you want, and then listen or look for the answer because it comes in a lot of different ways. And then be ready to receive it because a lot of us, we give, 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 but we don't know how to receive. So be ready to receive it and then give thanks. Give thanks. And then we start the cycle all over again. So, what do we want next?
Fantastic. Now, can you tell us more about what it really means to receive guidance from the spiritual realm?
Oh, okay. Okay. So, everybody can do it. That's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, I have to go to a psychic or I have to go to a somebody. All right. Everybody has their own connection to spirit. Everybody has their own intuition. Everybody has their own, I call, depending on what your spiritual path is, I call them my guardian angels, right? And my spirit team. Everybody has them. And they are all there, all around us, all the time. You are never alone. The spirit world is always with you. So they are just waiting for you to ask. They're waiting you to open the door to communication. So really, it's as easy as just sitting quietly, kind of emptying your mind, right? All of the different thoughts that we have and all the things that we really need to do. One of the easiest things that I do is I tell my people the first thing in the morning, before you get out of bed, even or before you start doing anything, just start writing. We call them morning pages. They're from Julia Cameron's Artist Way. You start writing, right? Everything that's on your mind because you have a lot of things to take care of. Just write everything down, everything, everything. Do not lift the pen. And if nothing comes to mind, just write nothing, 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 nothing until something comes. And then just write that. And you keep going until your mind has been cleared of all of those top level things, right? So that you can get underneath them. And now you're down in that nice quiet space where your heart is, where your soul is, and is waiting to be able to communicate with you. So just start writing, okay, so how am I feeling? What do I want? You just, whatever comes to mind, and you will be in touch with your inner self, with your heart, with your soul. That's the first level. The more you get used to doing that, because now you're in two-way communication, right? The more you do that, the easier it becomes to look around and see, oh, 1111, that's telling me I'm on the right track. Oh, okay. I open a book and there's a passage that tells me exactly my answer. Oh, I turn on my radio or, turn on a CD or music. How we do it today. I turn on music and there are the lyrics to a song that tell me exactly where I need to go or what direction I need to take, right? So we have to be open to that communication, looking and listening and trusting that it will come. It's trusting that it will come. So starting that communication, it's just that simple. It's just making the space for it, making the time and space for it. I mean, even when you're really frustrated, you can stand there and say, and speak in frustration, and then take a breath and say, so what is my soul guiding me to do? Oh God, what am I supposed to do here? Right? And then listen for the answer. Your heart will answer you. You'll know. Some of us will hear the words, or it'll be a feeling, or you'll suddenly be be led to go somewhere in particular. Don't know why, but something told me to go to this place. Just follow the guidance you're being given. You're communicating all the time. You just don't really realize
Very powerful. Trust that it is
it.
coming.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, what is your why that keeps you going?
I'm a peace angel. I'm a peace. We have earth angels. We're all earth angels. You're an earth angel. I'm an earth. Everybody's an earth angel. Okay, you're an earth angel for somebody else. And my purpose here is to create peace in the world. And the way that I can create peace is to help people organize how they see life. And we are in a time of huge change right now. I mean, you look outside, and society is changing, government is changing, how we relate to other countries and other peoples. They're all changing. And so, what is the constant? The constant is ourselves. And if we are connected to our spirit, if we are connected to that which is bigger than us, can see so much better and so much more than our little minds could see. If we are connected to that, then we are creating from that higher space in a way that is for the good of all. So I'm here to help people get into that space so that they can create the lives that they love, so that they can help their communities and their children and our great great grandchildren will have a good world that they can live in, because it started with this foundation in this time of massive change. It started with this foundation with people who are coming from a higher space. That's why. Peace.
Amen. Peace matters.
Peace.
Was there a time in your life journey where you experienced an
Mm.
aha moment?
Oh, I'm sorry, say that again.
Was there a time in your life journey where you experienced an aha moment?
The time in my life, in my journey, when I experienced
An
problems.
aha moment.
I'm
We seem to have a technical issue here.
I
Aha
still
moment.
didn't.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, my
Okay.
aha moment. Yes, my aha moment. Um, I think it was when I saw that drop of water. I really think it was when I saw that drop of water. Um, I mean, there were many aha moments of, oh, this is not what I want to do. you know, oh, this is not the role model I want my daughter to have. Oh, this is not how I want to be in my business. I've had those kinds of aha moments. And then those were the oh moments. And then there's the aha moment of, this is how I want to be. This is the role model that I want to give to the world. Um, I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes. Yet I know that I have embraced that I have the grace of spirit, grace of God, that um, I'm here to help others experience. Really, that's why I explored healing. And what am I here to help channel through, right? How am I here to heal people? And when you first step onto this path, um, you find all different ways that you can help people get through their blocks, get through the energy blocks. And I remember one of the early ones was massage therapy. And I thought, you know what? People keep coming to me, um, but they keep coming back with the same problem. And I thought, I don't want to just be a band aid. I want to help themselves so that they don't get into these problems all the time. To keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting something different is insanity, right? The same people would come to me, and I would start to help them, give them tools. Here, this is how you can um, be part of, participate in your own healing. This is how you can manage your own energy. You know, I wasn't looking to have the same client with me for 5 years. That wasn't what I wanted. Right? I wanted to be able to help them in a deeper way so that they were more empowered in their own healing. And that was one of my ahas. It's like, no, I don't want to just be a band aid. I want to really help people in a deeper way. And so, I started to understand energy in a different way, in more of a multi-dimensional way, not just a physical way. So, yeah, the power of the word, the power of sound, the power of breath, power of movement, all of those, you put those all together. If you understand that, then you are moving through life in your body in a totally different way. Totally different. When you make different decisions and you're able to take a breath.
Amen. Let's take a
So
breath.
much of what we're experiencing,
I love it.
take a breath. Yes. Yeah. So
Amen. Now,
much of
was
what
there
we're experiencing in the world is really about being able to breathe. We've been on the hamster wheel for so long that we're doing, that we need to take a breath and just be.
Amen. Now, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Go within, go within and ask spirit, ask God, ask whoever you pray to. Um, ask for guidance. Ask for guidance. And then look back at your world. Look back at your life. The most informative thing you can do is look back at your life. I have people go through what I call the decades exercise, and this is what it is in a simple way. You look back at each decade of your life. What did you learn? Who helped you learn? Who was impactful in your growth? Look at those things. What did you love doing, being, experiencing in each of those decades of your life? You will see threads of what makes you happy. You will see threads of who you look up to and what kinds of personal qualities that you want to emulate. So you will really find a lot of gold already there, just waiting for you to mine it and to make sense of it. And so when you see all that, you're like, oh wow, I remember Uncle so and so and how he used to say these things. And I say that now too. I didn't realize it was from him. Give honor to all of those ancestors and all of those relatives, or even the ones who've given us difficult lessons. I mean, some of us have had really traumatic lessons. What is the piece that we're learning there about our value or our strength or what our capacity is, right? How do we understand the divinity that we live in this life, right? That we can choose to do something different and create in a new way. Right? So look back over your life and you will find your purpose. You will find that those times when you could keep doing it and you totally lost track of time, there's something there. There's something there that you're supposed to be doing more of or experiencing more of. A lot of the times when we look back to when we were like 8 years old, 10 years old, we knew what that was. We knew. We just kind of learned other ways not to, right? To do something different. Well, that's okay. We learned other skills. We developed other strengths. We got other knowledge. So now let's put it all together. That thing or those things that we absolutely love to do, right? 24/7 if we could, but we lose track of time. That's the important thing. You lose track of time and you feel so great afterwards. You feel at peace. You feel like, wow, I really did what I wanted to do, right? Marry that with your skills and your talents and what you've learned that you want to continue doing, then your purpose now can be fulfilled because you know what feeds you. You know what you can do in the world, just like breathing, right? It's as easy as breathing. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Yes, yes, I will. Be on purpose. There you go. Choose work that you can love, and sometimes you choose something that ends up being a step in the right direction because maybe in that whatever it is, you're going to meet someone. Maybe you're going to learn a skill that later on is going to be really, really helpful. There are no mistakes. We always bring everything forward with us. And it's like you have a toolbox, as you grow in life and in experience, you just keep filling that toolbox. Okay, what is the tool I need in this moment? Right? Pull it on out. Use it. It's there. It's yours. You've earned it. So
Amen.
there you go.
Very powerful. Baylan, thank you so much for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. I appreciate you. Now, where can the audience find you?
Well, I'm over at globaldreammakers.com. We have a lot of things that are going to be happening over the next several months. I actually have something that I'm helping people with right now. It's called Thriving Through Transitions, and it's just 3 days, 45 minutes for 3 days in a row. Where if you are stuck, if you are yeah, if you're stuck, or if you are trying to move past the pain of a layoff or a breakup, or maybe someone passed, or maybe you've had to deal with a huge illness, a very serious illness, right? Doing this little 3-day mastermind really is helpful in moving past that because we look at it, we look at all the gifts, we close the door, we let it go. We do a specific thing to let it go, and then we move forward. We pivot. we pivot, turn around, and look at the future. What do we want for the future? So in 3 days, you get unstuck. Actually, within one day, you get unstuck. But once you're unstuck, we help you start moving on the path you want to choose. Yes, yes. So
I love it.
globaldreammakers.com is where you can find me.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Baylan at globaldreammakers.com. And again, Baylan, thank you so much for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. You have a blessed day.